Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay friends, in today's video I'm going to do an unboxing of my latest Samsung Chromebook, and I'm also going to do a review on the Chromebook as well. Don't forget, if you've listened to this channel, you know that I am an elementary school teacher, so these Chromebooks, I have my hands on them all the time. So while the one that I am going to open up is a brand new Chromebook, I have used this exact Chromebook multiple times, so I know it's a good fit for what I want. Speaking of which, I also did another review for a similar Chromebook by Samsung, and it is a much more expensive Chromebook. So take a look in my description down below, and I'll show you a link to that other video if you're looking for a little bit nicer one. In today's video, this Chromebook that I'm going to be reviewing is what I would call a good student Chromebook. They're relatively cheap. This one right here is somewhere in the ballpark of $175 or so. You can upgrade it or kind of go in each direction. This one right here has 32 gigabytes of memory, and you can go down to 16 and you can go all the way up to 64. My recommendation, this one's 32, and I think it's going to be a good fit for my student, and I also think that it's going to be fast enough that it won't be at any kind of a frustration level. If you try to save a few bucks and go down to the 16 gigabytes, I noticed those are the ones that we have in the classrooms, and often those are the ones that are very, very slow to load websites, do all these kinds of things. So my recommendation is to go to at least to the 32 gigabyte and maybe all the way up to the 64 gigabyte is a good choice for you as well. Also, if you are looking for a Chromebook for your student or maybe your professional self, then Samsung, in my opinion, is the best way to go. Again, I've worked with hundreds of these Chromebooks. Year after year, we have these classes of students. Samsung seems to be the most reliable, the best bang for the buck, and in my opinion, kind of the leader in this industry. All right, let's unbox this and let's take a look. Okay, so I just purchased this a few days ago. It showed up in the mail. I'll put a link in the description down below to this computer also. It's a little bit nicer and also one step down from this, and I'll also put my other review on there of a much nicer Samsung Chromebook, and I'll put some links to those if you're shopping around for those. So this is what it looked like, and it came in packaging just like this. It had a plastic wrap around it, but that was it. That's how UPS delivered it. And with the hard drives that they have in these now, they're much more, well, they're less fragile. They're more durable as far as the hard drive goes, and you can see right here some of the statistics on this particular one. And again, this is the 4 gigabytes of memory and the 32 gigabytes of RAM or 32 gigabytes of storage. So my opinion is this is a really good fit for a student, and even a good fit for a student who's maybe up into junior high, high school. And then past that, if you're in college or something like that, you might want to be getting a little bit more powerful of a Chromebook. So there it is, still sealed up. I'll crack the seal and let's unbox it. Okay, let's take a look. So there you go, there's our power cord right there. And there's our Chromebook. So I'll pop it out of here. It comes with very little instructions or literature, but it does have a little bit of a packet here. All right, let's take it out. Okay, I've plugged it in, but we'll take a look and I'll show you what the top looks like. And there's your bottom right there. So it's got these really nice little rubber pieces that are pretty durable, by the way. And I'll show you the different ports. And this is where it plugs in over here on the side. All right, let's open it up. All right, there's our screen. It's a nice screen. Again, it is, and it really is a pretty nice screen. Samsung, of course, is kind of a leader in that industry. Some of the less expensive screens, when you kind of push on them with a little bit of pressure, they're almost like a plastic that's almost a little bit flexible. So you can kind of push on it and you see sort of the finger mark of where it's pushing into the screen. You don't see that on this. So even though this is sort of a lower end Chromebook, if you will, medium lower is what I would call this guy here, you get a lot of the qualities of a nicer Chromebook. So again, it's a little bit nicer of a screen. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it is a really beautiful screen considering it's a medium low price Chromebook. And one of the big reasons why I do purchase this one is I see a lot of the keys go through a lot of wear and tear in a classroom setting. These keys are very nice keys, very functional keys, and while that might seem kind of silly, if you have worked with 8 or 10 different Chromebooks, you'll know that there is a big difference, right? If you have an older computer, your keys probably push down pretty far and up pretty far, and believe it or not, you're really holding yourself back in your typing skills. So these more modern keys that are sort of these low profiles that just push down a little bit and they spring right back up, makes it very easy to type. And it's a lot more friendly on your fingers and just the whole sort of anatomy, if you will, of how your arms sit here. It's a nice feeling. And also durability wise, some of the less expensive Chromebooks, I see these keys popping out and they sort of snap off and they're missing. And I see it a lot less on these Samsung. So it's a nicely built computer. On top of that, aesthetically, it's a really beautiful machine. If you look at the kind of outside texture to it, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's really just kind of cool looking, if you will. All right, let's open it back up. Let's take a look. I'll kind of show you some of the keys. So there's your on and off and the volume on the speakers. And again, if you want one with a little bit better speakers, check out the description. Look at the other video I have on the Samsung. That's a 2-in-1 computer that is a Chromebook, but it's also in a tablet, and that one has much better speakers. In fact, sometimes I use those in the classroom and don't even hook them up to a secondary speaker system. They work that well. So this one here is kind of a medium. You know, it'll do just fine if you're sitting with 1 or 2 or 3 of you, but if you have like 10 of you trying to listen into it, it's not quite powerful enough speaker-wise. So let's dive in. Let's open it up a little bit. Maybe we can get to some different sites on the web. Okay, friends, we're back up and running now, and I did take about 5 minutes to set up the computer. I went into a couple websites and I actually made a couple bookmarks just to kind of practice on it. Again, I did all that in about 5 minutes, and that's one of the beauties about going with a Chromebook, is that all the operating system, I mean, everything's already installed and it's ready to go. Now, as far as like making documents, maybe a Word document, something like that, when you're using a Chromebook, you're really going to use the Google products, which what that means is you're going to make like Google Documents. And that's how a lot of the classrooms are doing it now. So in my personal classroom, that's how we make all of our documents, and it works seamlessly. And the nice part is, well, it's free. You don't have to use any software or purchase something after the fact. So I took about 5 minutes. Let's go here. Let's go on the internet and let's see how long it takes to load this kind of stuff up. And again, I'm not timing it or anything, but you can see, I mean, that's pretty fast. So let's come up here. I made a toolbar. Let's pop over into Netflix. And again, is there a delay? Yes. Is the delay absolutely minor and not a problem at all? Yeah, I would say that for sure. Here, let's open up another tab, and maybe we'll go over to, all right, let's go to YouTube. And you can see there's a brief delay. Now again, a new computer, once it starts to recognize these websites, it'll be even faster than this. Is there a tiny delay? There is. And again, I think that's the difference between a Chromebook that's $150 to $200 and a Chromebook that's $450 to $500, which is again, kind of the difference in prices if you look at the description of the two computers I have down there, or Chromebooks I have down there. But you can see, I mean, it's pretty quick. So this is streaming right here, and it's pretty fast on those. So pretty nice stuff. So where a computer like this might get bogged down a little bit is if we start coming up here and opening lots of tabs, which again, sometimes students really kind of overdo it, either intentionally or accidentally. But it can be kind of challenging when we do stuff like this. So maybe you're going to practice your typing here. Maybe you're going to have something else going on here, writing a letter to a friend, and then maybe YouTube, Netflix, something else going on here. And that can kind of lag down the computer a little bit. So if you ever feel like it's slow, close down a few of these tabs up here, and that can often help things out. So, all right, friends, I'm not going to dive any deeper than that, but I can tell you this, again, with more than a decade of experience in classrooms, and about 5 of those years now, we've had one-on-one computers, meaning every student has a computer. This right here has been the most successful, in my opinion, of all the different computers that we've used, and that's why this is the one that I have purchased for my kids to use at home. And again, for under 200 bucks, my opinion is, if you have a student, this is the one to get. If your student is high school or above, I would look in the description and take a look at the one that's a little bit more expensive, and it's a much more powerful machine. So good durability, fast enough that they're going to be happy, and it's just kind of a quick, easy, and the size is just perfect. So if you've seen these Chromebooks, they're much smaller than the traditional laptops, which makes them really friendly for the kids too. All right, friends, hey, I hope you enjoy these videos. Do me a favor, if you want to say thank you to me, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you subscribe to the channel and look under playlists, I'll put Chromebooks and I'll put the 2 or 3 videos that I've already made on there, and I'll add to that as well. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.